Tuesday afternoon.
Woohoo!
We're on Project Arrowhead with Jim and Gina. And don't forget, Project Arrowhead is brought to you by the Mohegan Sun Big Three, Lansdowne Pub, Avalon Nightclub, and the Vista Lounge.
Woohoo! Vista.
Located inside the beautiful Mohegan Sun in Augustville, Connecticut. That was the Lansdowne Pub, Avalon Nightclub, and the Vista Lounge. Gina, what's up?
Nothing. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
We are back, and what are we talking about today?
We're talking about horror movies.
Yes.
My favorite subject.
Mine too. Anything to do with serial killers, murders, horror movies. I'm all about it.
Well, I'd really like to get everybody's view on what a horror movie really is.
That's true.
Yeah.
So we already have 4 viewers, and Sarah said hi, gorgeous. When I say gorgeous,
Hi,
I was
Sarah.
talking to Jim as well. And then Naomi said hi, Gina. Hi, Naomi. All right, so since you guys are listening, what defines a horror movie for you? There's an echo.
Well, here's an echo. You heard that too, huh? I don't think anybody else heard it.
No, I don't think so either. But there's an echo in here.
Hey, it's all good.
All right, so we want to know what everybody's definition of a horror movie is. So if anybody has anything to say, be sure to comment and tune in and let us know.
And hopefully we'll have a surprise guest on.
Ooh, I hope so.
Don't know yet, but it's a possibility.
This is true.
And I think everybody's going to like it.
I hope so. I'm going to like it. Oh, God. Of course, there's a picture of it. When I Googled what is a horror movie. So it would bring up the definition. So that I could accurately read it.
You got a picture of it. And
Sarah said when a 33-year-old woman has to keep a nightlight, it worked. Oh, that's true.
Good.
As long as it's something that scares you enough to have to keep a nightlight on. I hear you. And when I went and saw Paranormal Activity, the first one in theaters, I remember having to sleep with my lights on that night because it terrified me so bad. Because those supernatural things freak me out, like ghosts. So that movie, I was young when the first one came out. What year did it come out?
The first Paranormal Activity?
Yeah. I think it came out I was in high school still, so like maybe 2007.
You know what? Yeah, I think you're right,
think,
right around there. It was definitely early 2000s.
Or is it 2007 American found footage? Oh, I was terrified. Terrified. Oh my goodness. Anytime I walked to go to the bathroom, every single light came on. My mom would tell me, Gina, shut them off.
So
No,
what
thanks.
was the first horror movie you've ever seen?
Well, to me, it was a horror movie, but it was Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World. That movie terrified me.
I can see how it would.
But I asked my mom to watch it when I was 6 or 7, so to a 6 or 7, like even my oldest won't watch it.
Really?
My son will. He's 2. He'll watch it. He loves it. He loves dinosaurs, so is my youngest, but my oldest wouldn't. The first horror movie I ever saw, the first one I think I ever saw unassisted from my mom was when my friend took us in 6th grade to her birthday party to go see When a Stranger Calls. That was the first one that I went to see.
So that was the remake, right?
Yeah, that wasn't the original. That was the newer one. And I swear I screamed louder than anybody in that theater, but it was a good movie. It was a good movie. Afterwards, we're like, no, we weren't afraid. We were afraid it was a good movie. No, it was terrifying. What was your first movie? I'm sure it was like yesterday.
God, my first horror movie, and the one that really scared me. First scared me.
The first one that scared you.
The first one that scared me. God, it must have been like 10, and we used to be able to tap into our cable box and get HBO. The statute of limitations is over, okay? And
That's true, so now you can say it.
The Exorcist was on. And yep,
Nope.
that did it.
No, thank you.
That did it.
I remember back in 2014, me and my then fiance, we moved into our apartment, and it was like one of the first few nights, and we turned on the Blair Witch Project. And I mean, that's not necessarily a scary movie. I mean, I feel like it was more hyped up than it actually was. But we were sitting there, and there were a few jumpy moments. And we were sitting there, and we had a big whiteboard calendar, like 3D, those rippable ones, so it doesn't ruin anything, on the fridge. And in the middle of the movie, it flew off of the fridge and across the kitchen. We turned the movie off and went to bed. Done. Not doing that anymore.
Sarah wants to know, why in the hell are the based on actual events always in Connecticut? Which ones are you talking to? All right, The Haunting in Connecticut was a true story.
Right. Amityville Horror?
No, Amityville, New York.
Oh, okay. That's so close.
And despite rumors on that, the house is still there. And as a matter of fact, I think it's up for sale.
Oh, yeah, it is. I saw that. Did you know that's one that when we did our urban legends, that was one that came up, was the Amityville Horror? As
an urban legend?
Yep. Because the story's been so stretched out. But see, that's where like Tall Tales come in.
Yeah.
The movie's based on actual events, but they're like, if they portray actual events in a scary movie, it's not going to be that scary. Because like you said, when you guys go ghost hunting, we watch Ghost Hunters, or we watch, Ghost Adventures or things like that, and they hype it up to make it seem like every time they go on a mission, something awful, terrible, scary happens, somebody gets hurt. But sometimes you guys are luckier if you even get a couple things.
Right.
So a horror movie has to be given that horror or fear factor to draw audiences. So I'm not really sure why that one was on there, but it was on there. I mean, I don't think it's an urban legend, but
now see, as far as I've been studying under Ed Warren's son-in-law Tony, and they actually reveal some of the tapes, some of the footage, and some of the transcripts that they have from Amityville, and it was actually in real life a lot scarier than they portrayed in the movie.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think they were allowed to go any scarier than what they did.
So I don't understand why it would be considered an urban legend then, because it was on the list, but it wasn't one that I wrote down because doing research on it, like looking through, obviously because we know I like to take notes, but I'm winging it today, guys. No notes, no notebook. Horror movies, I'm pretty sure I can talk for an hour and a half about, but
hey, what other ones are you talking about, Sarah?
Oh yeah, urban legends in.
And
hi Sarah, hi Cassie, hi Brittany, hi Tom.
Don't forget, you can watch this on my Facebook page, on Gina's Facebook page, on the Project Arrowhead Facebook page, and on the United FM Facebook page.
Correct.
All right, let's try to
Okay, so scary movies set or filmed in Connecticut.
The Haunting in Connecticut.
Beetlejuice. That came up, I'm sorry.
But based on real events, Beetlejuice was not based on actual events.
Might have been. That's actually one of my favorite movies. That movie scared me when I was younger. Ooh, maybe that's the first horror movie I saw as a kid.
That's not a horror movie.
Okay, well, to an 8-year-old, it's pretty scary. So Friday the 13th was set in Connecticut. That's not based on true events. Friday the 13th, part 2, too. 2. The Last House on the Left was in Reading, Connecticut.
Not based on actual events.
Haunting in Connecticut was.
Yep.
The Conjuring was set in Connecticut. Monroe, Connecticut. They're from...
No, that's where Ed and Lorraine... Oh, yeah, right. You know what? Yeah, the first house was in Monroe, Connecticut. And that's also where Ed and Lorraine were from.
Yeah.
There's two. Conjuring.
There's Beetlejuice again.
Annabelle.
Annabelle.
Annabelle is actually kept here in Connecticut.
Well, isn't she part of The Conjuring? Like, part of Ed?
She's involved in it where the doll escapes the...
They just kind of stem off.
Yeah. You get a quick glimpse of Annabelle in that movie. But, yeah, she is kept here in Connecticut.
Horror movies based on true events.
Yep. See, Abby just said it after I did.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, here are 26 really scary horror movies based on true stories, but none of them are really from Connecticut. Like The Exorcist isn't. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre isn't.
Yeah, and at the beginning of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it tells you based on actual events. No, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is a myth.
So why do movies do that? Is it to get like people hyped up?
Yeah, it's just if you think it really happened, it makes it more scary.
What about The Ring? Naomi said The Ring. I know that's not based on
a true event.
True event, but
Naomi, do not put the VHS in the into the deck, and you'll be fine.
Oh yeah, you'll be fine.
Don't play the tape.
So The Exorcist, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre says it's based on a true story, which is obviously wrong. A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Not based on a true story.
This is the list. Based on true stories. Child's Play. That movie was so messed up.
What category are you looking under?
Horror movies based on true stories.
No. Nightmare on Elm. No.
Amityville Horror.
Yes.
Psycho.
No.
The Girl Next Door.
No.
The Conjuring.
Yes.
Deranged.
Couldn't tell you.
Me either. The Right.
Nope. That happened. That movie took place in England.
The Haunting in Connecticut. We knew that. Yeah. Borderland. Ew, they're cutting his tongue out. The Strangers. Ooh, that is the scariest movie to date for me.
The Strangers?
Yep. Because it is so real life. Something like that could happen.
Yeah, good.
A group can put on a mask and knock on your door or break in and kill you. And when in the movie, first of all, side note, they spelt Charles Manson in this. They said that the movie drew inspiration from the murders by serial killer Charles Manson. Wait, I'm getting to why I said that, because they spelt it as Mansion.
Oh, okay.
On the description. So obviously this website is, it's also scoopwhoop.com. So.
It's what? Scooppoop.com?
Scoop whoop.
Oh.
You said poop.
That's what I thought she said too.
Poop.
I was like, wait, what the hell?
But that movie is the scariest movie I think I've ever watched. And it's not even scary because it made things go bump in the night or made me wonder what was behind me, but because it was actually something that could actually happen. Like, the Annabelle doll's not about to get up and run at me 9 times out of 10.
All right, well, let's go by horror movies by decade.
Oh, God.
Which decade do you want to start with?
Start with mine.
No, last week doesn't count.
Oh, okay, let's start with... I don't know. You pick one then, because I don't really know very many. I just watch horror movies if they look good. I don't go by decade.
All right, let's start with the 60s. Let's go top 5 horror movies of the 60s.
Well, Wikipedia has horror films by decade, so hang on.
Oh, see, there you go. I might have been doing my homework. No.
Let's not go there. All right, 1960s.
Well, 1890s, you're talking about Mary Shelley and Bram Stoker and all of that. All right, let's start. Yeah, start with the 60s.
All right. Well, I can't. Because now it breaks it down into lists.
What do you mean list?
List of horror films from 60, 61, 62.
Oh, my God.
This is ruining our lives.
Right?
What the heck? All right, let's try again. Popular. Jeez. This is why you should do research and write things down.
Right.
Popular. I typed in popular research.
Popular research?
Yeah. All right, let's try again. Popular movies in the 60s. Horror movies in the 60s. All right, Psycho.
Oh, definitely.
Ooh, The Birds.
Yep.
I remember part of that, just when the birds attacked her. That's all I remember. I've never heard of these ones. I mean, I've heard of Rosemary's Baby, but that one was redone as well.
You know what? I just watched the original the other day.
Was it good?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the one on Netflix for the remake doesn't have very good ratings.
Really? I didn't even see it on Netflix that they had redone it.
So Tom said Texas Chainsaw Massacre was very loosely based on Ed Gein, which we just talked about earlier.
Yeah, we talked about Ed Gein.
He made things from human skin and bones, which is accurate, 'cause that's what Ed Gein did. When they went in his house, they found all those things, including a belt made of nipples.
The nipple belt.
The nipple belt.
One of, if not the most iconic horror movies was made in 1968.
Okay, hold on. Hold your horses. 1968.
1968. Does anybody know? I can't see the comments, so you're going to tell me. Does anybody know what movie that was?
Witchfinder General.
What?
I don't know. It was made in 1968. Moving along.
It's probably the most iconic movie.
The Devil Rides Out.
No. I can't see the comments. Are any of your friends answering?
Kira Nico. Psycho, Rosemary's Baby, and then what Tom said.
Breaking news.
Breaking news? What does that mean?
Yes, breaking news. You have a phone call.
We do?
Yep.
Who do you want to say it is? I bet it's Sarah again. All right.
Okay.
Sure is.
Yes! How did I know she was going to call?
I don't know, but I want to see if Sarah knows the answer to the question.
Okay, go ahead.
What's the question?
What is the most iconic movie, horror movie, that came out in 1968 and is still iconic to this day?
1968?
Yep.
I have no idea.
Let me hit images.
Don't hit images.
Night of the Living Dead.
Bingo.
Did you Google it?
George Romero's Night of the Living Dead, which went on to be...
Honestly, I thought it was Psycho.
That was 1960.
Psycho was good, yep.
It was 1960, but of the 60s, I would have to say it'd be Psycho.
To an extent, yeah, but Night of the Living Dead has taken off and has actually spawned Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead and iZombie and all those other movies.
I'm already on the 70s.
Wow.
This is better paced for me. I wasn't a thought in the 60s, and my mother wasn't even alive. All right. So, what do you know? Are we going to the 70s? What's the most popular movies of the 70s?
Oh, 70s is way better than the 60s. Holy crap.
Oh.
All right. Give me a couple from the 70s.
Halloween, obviously.
Halloween.
Yep.
The Exorcist.
Yep.
Texas Chainsaw
Carrie.
Massacre.
Carrie.
Yep.
Yeah, Carrie.
Jaws.
Jaws. And a lot of people don't think of Jaws as a horror movie, but that movie scared the crap out
I do. That
of a lot of
scared the
people.
crap out of me.
I don't like the ocean, so no thanks.
I mean, I live in Florida, and I don't get up past my knees.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think I would either.
No, not for me. Nosferatu.
Amityville Horror is 1979.
Yep.
Nosferatu the Vampire is 1979. The Last House on the Left, the original, is in
Alien.
the 70s. Yep. The Hills Have Eyes, the original.
Mm-hmm. The Omen.
Let's see. The Legend of Hell House. Salem's Lot.
Salem's Lot.
I spit on your grave.
That's
Yes.
That's Salem's Lot. Isn't that a Stephen King book?
Salem's Lot is.
Okay.
And I Spit on Your Grave, the original.
The newer ones are pretty gory.
Yeah, they are definitely hard to watch. But the
I'm
original.
trying to find this one movie. I think it was in the 80s that had significance on me, and I can't find it.
So,
It had Tom Hanks in it.
The Burbs?
Yes. That movie was ridiculous.
Yeah.
The Crazies came out in 1973.
Yes.
I saw the newer one.
You saw the newer one?
I've never seen the old one. I didn't know that one was a remake.
It's pretty close. It is pretty close.
I didn't know that was a remake. The Rocky Horror Picture Show came out in 1975.
Yep, that one's still going strong.
Yes, it is.
Phantasm was a cult classic. Dawn of the Dead came out 10 years after Night of the Living Dead.
This?
I've got the actual script from Dawn of the Dead, autographed by everybody, including George Romero himself.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that'd be so cool to have. Anything like that would be, though.
Especially since George Romero isn't with us anymore.
That's true. That could be worth a lot of money. There's a lot of movies in here like I haven't heard of, like Eraserhead.
I just saw that when I was like...
Like, what is that? Rabid. That looks like a girl in a box.
Burnt Offerings
Yep.
was supposed to. You know what? I don't think I've ever seen it. I think I started watching it and just couldn't get through it. Sarah, have you ever seen that one?
Which one?
Burnt Offerings.
I think it's on Netflix.
Is it really? Well, see, now I'm gonna have to
I think I'm
watch
gonna
it.
have to watch it. I know.
That's so funny. It was made in 1976, so closer to the 80s. Willard looks like he has a rat on his shoulder.
Oh my God, Willard was creepy as hell.
Was it?
I hate rats.
Oh, I had two
Didn't they
pet
make
rats.
that into like a kids movie?
Willard.
I don't think so.
Could you imagine?
Ugh.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
know.
in the 70s, that also started the line of Dracula movies.
Dracula was really big, like when I was in elementary school. So that was like 1997, 98.
All right, so do you know a lot about Dracula?
He's a vampire.
Or I mean, the movies?
No.
Oh, never mind. Sarah, do you?
I know a little bit of it, and it has more to do with that one guy who staked his. He was like a king or a conqueror, and he used to like impale. Vlad the Impaler.
Vlad the Impaler,
Doesn't it have to do with? Doesn't he has to do with something with Dracula?
That was his last name, Dracula.
Oh.
Yeah, Vlad Dracula.
But what do you know? What do you know about
If you actually like, that was a really good information that like I got off of that, because the most recent Dracula movie actually kind of tells about it.
Yes.
So I Googled it the last time I saw it, and it was a lot of good information. I mean, not good information, just interesting.
So, do you know anything about the actors that have played Dracula?
No.
Wow. All right, you had
We're youngins.
but still, you had I wasn't alive in like
You're a youngin'.
30 something when it came out. Bela Lugosi played the very first Dracula. Then years
Is
went
that
on.
a girl?
Bela Lugosi, no.
Oh.
No, he's Romanian. He played a good Dracula.
Oh.
Then you go up to the 70s. They really didn't have a Dracula movie until the 70s. And then Christopher Lee played Dracula. And you're probably wondering, you have no idea who Christopher Lee is, right?
Nope.
Have you watched, did you watch any of the new Star Wars movies?
Oh, I'm a Star Wars freak.
All right, let me see what else. He was in the, no, I can't remember if it wasn't Harry Potter. It was the other one.
And the newer ones or the older ones?
He was in The Lord of the Rings. But anyway, Christopher Lee has played in hundreds of movies. And Peter Cushing played Van Helsing in the older movies. And then you move up, and there was, what was the name of that series there? Dark Shadows.
I've never heard of that one either.
The Dark Shadows was it was an older TV show with Barnabas Collins, and then they did a remake in the 90s, and it was almost like a soap opera. It was pretty boring, but it was a cult classic. People loved it.
Count Dooku.
Count Dooku, that's Christopher Lee in Star Wars.
Yeah, Tom said Count Dooku.
Yes, Tom.
Good job, Tom.
Absolutely right.
Oh, that was him. Okay.
What about Invasion of the Body Snatchers? Did you ever see that?
Yes, both.
Nope, never seen either. Didn't even know there were two.
Yeah.
I have not seen that one either.
There was, and I think it was the 80s.
I'm in there.
I am getting. But there was a movie that came out called Patrick.
I feel like I've heard of that, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
Well, they did a remake on it. It's been out recently, but it was about this guy that had an accident, and he had like these telepathic powers and everything, and he had a crush on the nurse. So anybody that messed with her or she was dating, he would kill. Yeah, I don't know why.
Sounds like a great guy.
That movie creeped the hell out of me.
A+. All right, I'm on to the 80s.
All right, the earliest.
I already have this pulled up. Poltergeist.
Yep.
I love her.
What was the very first big movie of the 80s, though?
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nope.
Shining.
No. Stop looking at the list and just going down the list, because I got the same list. I see what you're doing there.
Well, I thought that would be it.
Friday
like
the
one of those.
13th, 1980.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, that was the very first one.
I think the Nightmare on Elm Streets are better than
Oh,
Friday
wait,
the 13th.
time out. I did a poll on Facebook. Who
Oop, oop.
prefers
It was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street versus Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
I did a
Yeah,
poll.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Everybody won that one.
And, yep, Nightmare on Elm Street won.
Wow.
Yep. And we had several voters, but I think like over 50% of them. Yeah, 69% is for Nightmare on Elm Street. And then 31% was Friday the 13th. We had 16 votes. But
See, I
most
thought the first two Nightmare on Elm Streets were good, and then they just got way too cheesy after that.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. But I
And then they
think that everybody was
incorporated-
just thinking of the first one when I said
And then
Nightmare
they
on Elm Street.
Incorporated Freddy and Jason in the movies together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Freddy versus
I
Jason.
forgot about that one on purpose, I think.
Definitely on purpose. Oh, my goodness.
You know what? There's a lot of movies that they have since remade. Nightmare on Elm Street, The Shining,
I'm
The Thing.
surprised that they remade Poltergeist because of the quote-unquote Poltergeist curse that they have going on, like where everybody pretty much died.
Yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah.
little girl died. That was sad.
I know.
Yeah, Heather O'Rourke, and
Yes.
then I think the older sister in the movie died.
Yep.
Um,
Couple of the crew.
not from the movie, not from anything from the movie, but like her boyfriend had choked her to death. I actually read about this a couple years ago.
Wow.
A lot of movies that came out in 1983 were from Stephen King. Stephen King based off his novels. Children of the Corn, Cujo, then I think The Shining.
Shining.
And then there was another one, Pet Sematary, I think I saw. But all those...
American Werewolf in London.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that was a good one.
Oh, the original Hellraiser came out too.
Yep.
Evil Dead.
A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, as I said.
You forgot The Fog. No, wait a minute. Was The Fog Stephen King?
I don't...
I think The Fog is Stephen King.
Was it The Fog or The Mist?
Well, The Mist is Stephen King, too.
He did both?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
I know he
I didn't know
definitely
that.
did The Mist.
Well, that's what I thought. I was pretty sure he did The Mist, but The Fog, I don't...
And don't forget The Howling.
So here's one that was actually pretty good, and then I'm going to get off, is Pet Cemetery. When the dad buried his son, and the son came back and killed the mom.
But
I was terrified.
I want to play with you. Yeah, that was...
So The Fog was
Yeah.
based on a John Carpenter novel.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
the,
right.
The Mist.
That's right. Sarah, what was the kid's name in Pet Cemetery?
Dylan?
Nope.
Colin?
Gage.
That was close.
Dylan Gage.
Yes. Oh, yes. Well, Sarah, thank you for calling.
You're welcome. I'm going to go eat my sandwich now.
Ooh, have fun.
Enjoy.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, in 1985, The Return of the Living Dead.
Yep.
To go with The Night of the Living Dead.
And The Blob.
The Blob.
Never saw that.
Which one? That was a remake.
1988.
Yeah, that's a remake.
They do a
Pumpkinhead.
lot of... They do a lot of... Did you just hear me snort? Okay.
Pumpkinhead was awesome.
Never saw it. Although that looks kind of creepy, so no thank you. What about The Changeling? What's that about?
I don't remember.
Well.
Hey, you forgot Christine, didn't you? Did you say Christine? Or did you forgot
I don't even
Christine?
know what that is.
Christine Stephen King.
Oh. No, I didn't know that.
That's about the car that kills people.
Okay, so I'm looking up what The Changeling is about. It's a psychological thriller. Some composer's vacationing with his family in a car accident kills his wife and daughter. Distraught with grief, Russell leaves his home in New York City for a giant secluded house near Seattle. Then he starts feeling the presence of a ghost, a boy who drowned in the bathtub there. Russell seeks the assistance of Claire Norman,
Yes.
who led him to the house initially, uncovering the secrets of the boy's death. I think I saw that, actually. It's 5 o'clock.
Somewhere.
This is true.
It's 5 o'clock, and do you know what she said?
So the Changeling is more of a. It's
moving
kind of
along.
like a ghost movie, right?
Yes. Yes, it is. Let's move on to the 90s.
The 90s. It's 90s Silence of the Lamb.
Yeah.
Hello, Clarice.
I actually like any movie that has to do with Hannibal Lecter.
Hello, Clarice.
Did you know he didn't even say that?
What?
Hello, Clarice. That's a Mandela effect. He never even said it. If you rewatch the movie, he didn't say it. You wait.
I'm telling you, he said, I want. You want that Mandela effect.
Yes, this is a big deal. A huge deal. Because I went back after I saw it and after I read about it, and he never said it. So,
wait, there's a movie called Mandela Effect?
no.
So you can watch the movie and not hear him say, hello, Clarice. One of the most iconic lines.
After I read the Mandela Effect, yes. When you go back, it is one of the most iconic of lines, but he never said it. He never said it. It's the most iconic because that's what people made up. That's what they think it happened. So if you've seen Silence of the Lambs, you know that the famous line is, hello, Clarice. The only problem is that never happened. And when Clarice first meets Hannibal Lecter, he simply says, good morning. That's it. He doesn't ever say, hello, Clarice. People just think he does. Go back and watch the movie. There is a book, though. There is a book. Could it exist there? He never said it. You're going to go watch the movie.
I know when a spoof, I don't know what it was, like one of the scary movie or something like that, you know, the spoof on the horror movies.
Oh, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I think the guy that got planted in there says, hello, Clarice.
He might, and that might be where it
maybe
came
that's
from.
where it came from.
Because it didn't come from... isn't that crazy? Like, the first thing that when you say anything that has to do with Hannibal Lecter or Silence of the Lambs, the first thing that people say is, hello, Clarice. And that was never said in the movie. And I was like, yes, it was. And it's no different than, like, Snow White. What does the queen say in the mirror?
Mirror, mirror on the wall?
She doesn't. She says magic mirror. She never, in the original Snow White, ever says mirror, mirror. Went back and watched that, too. I might, like this, the Mandela... We're going to have to do a whole episode on it because the Mandela effect messes with me.
Ladies and gentlemen, next week we'll have a new co-host on.
No! Oh, my God.
Well, now I got to look up this Mandela stuff now.
You do. You do, because I spent an hour watching things about it. And so, you know the... I can't even say their name because then it's going to corrupt it. But you know the little family of bears... There's Mama Bear.
The three bears.
No. Mama Bear, Papa Bear, Sister Bear, Brother Bear. And they're a family. One has overall... I'll show you a picture.
Oh, the Berenstain Bears?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
The Berenstain Bears.
It's Berenstain Bears.
Wait, we're tomato.
Yeah, not really. It's not even spelled the same way that everybody else spells it. It's S-T-A-I-N on the book. And I thought it was S-T-E-I-N. Berenstain Bears. It's Berenstain Bears.
So did I. That's just dyslexia, though. I mean...
I don't think so.
It's not a Mandela effect.
It
is.
is. Look it up and watch the video. I'm going to send you so many videos tonight.
What's the cause of this effect? Is like little green men going back in time and changing stuff?
So the reason this whole entire thing started is because a lot of people thought Nelson Mandela had died years ago in the 60s in prison.
Right.
He just died not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
And like that caused this huge uproar where people thought he had already died. It's no different than when we talked about urban legends last week about somebody thought Paul McCartney, was it him, was replaced. He had died and he was replaced.
He had a twin, an imposter.
Right. Well, that's what this whole thing is this started with Nelson Mandela because they thought he had already died. So how does
that change a script in a movie?
It doesn't. People just think that that's what it is.
Oh, I see.
Because other people, it's just something that people instill in their head. And it's something that you think you remember, but really it's not.
Okay.
So when I was younger, it was always mirror, mirror on the wall, but it's never been mirror, mirror. It's always been magic mirror in Snow White. So like if you go back and watch these movies, so whoever watches or whoever's listening and goes back and watches Silence of the Lambs, they're going to hear that he never says, hello, Clarice. Anybody who has kids like me and watches Snow White, it never says mirror, mirror. It always says magic mirror.
So it just comes back to some type of misconception,
right,
or
that
bad
everybody
memory.
adapts. So
Okay.
Mandela effect isn't. It's just. It always is something that seems right to everybody until
And it's
somebody
abbreviated CRS.
goes. What's CRS?
Can't remember shit.
Oh. Stop it. I mean, you're not wrong.
See?
But isn't that crazy?
That is.
It's almost like false memory, and it's made people believe that they're in like a parallel universe, that things have been happening. Like, let me see if I can find just another example. Oh, We Are the Champions. How does it end? So at the end, because we are the no time for losers, because we are the champions. And then what do people chant at the end?
Of the world.
And that never happened. It does not end in Of the World. That's just something people added on, and now it's just something that's familiar.
Damn it, I'm looking.
I started something so big.
Wait a minute. I'm going to have to look that song up.
Oh, and another one. So
Hold on, I'm still working on the We Are Champions.
this one you don't even have to look up. I mean, you might, but you don't. While you're looking that up, the Monopoly Man,
Yeah.
he doesn't have a monocle. When you look it up, he looks so... You would think he has one, and he doesn't. It doesn't end... This is... Look what I did.
Because we are the champions of the world.
It doesn't end like that. Listen to the song. Listen to the original cut song. It does not end like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, I'm right.
I'm pulling it up now.
He says...
All it says is, no time for losers because we are the champions. Add nothing.
See? You... My point is proven. We're going to have to do a whole...
1 out of 3. I know.
You wait. You need to go watch that movie. Oh, and Darth Vader doesn't say, Luke, I am your father. He says, no, I am your father. For all my Star Wars fans out there. I'm looking at you,
I'm going to look that up, too.
Tom. And C-3PO isn't all gold.
Yeah, there's some silver in there.
He has a silver on his leg.
Well,
This is... See what I did? We should have waited till the next show. This is fantastic. But isn't that crazy?
yeah, let's say.
He doesn't say it. Here it is. Hannibal Lecter never said hello, Clarice.
The misquote has even made it into Star Wars canon in the radio drama adaptation of The Empire Strikes Back. Vader says, no, Luke, I am your father. However, in Jedi Search by Kevin Anderson, Luke remembers Vader saying,
Yeah.
Luke, I am your father.
Yeah, so when they were in an interview one time, oh my goodness.
Luke.
Jiffy peanut butter doesn't exist.
What?
Jiffy peanut butter doesn't
No, it's
exist.
Jif.
Yeah, a lot of people remember it as Jiffy. When I was little, I remember my grandmother. I remember it being
Frickin'
Jiffy.
Car lube.
No, oh yeah, you're right. Jiffy Lube. Isn't that crazy?
But is it possible that it used to be called Jiffy?
It could be. Because when I was little, I definitely thought it was
Oh,
spelled.
look at that. Was Jif ever called Jiffy?
Oh, God.
You don't have to type it in.
The answer is no.
Jiffy to Jif. Jif peanut butter has apparently never been sold as Jiffy.
There's a whole MandelaEffect.com for alternate realities. I'm going to have to do a lot of research. We're going to have to talk about this one time.
Yeah, definitely.
Isn't that interesting, though? So any of my Star Wars fans watch the movie. He says, no, I am your father. And any of my parents out there who have kids, young kids especially, if you watch Snow White, listen for Magic Mirror on the Wall. And he doesn't say hello, Clarice in Silence of the Lambs. And Naomi said, are you sure Darth Vader doesn't say Luke? Naomi, go back and watch the movie.
No, he doesn't. He goes, no, I am your father.
Just like that. In that same voice. Exactly like that. So yeah, so there we have it. Now y'all just got a sneak preview. Back to horror movies. Ooh.
Yeah, the 90s, we're kicking some booty in the 90s. I mean, we
No
got a lot.
kidding. Seven came out with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman in 1995. That was a good movie.
Morgan Freeman. I was in that movie.
Oh, I was like, Jim, you were? No, that was your
The
voice.
Blair Witch Project.
Yes, as well as The Craft. That was a really good movie. That terrified me when she was on her tippy toes gliding across the floor.
Tremors.
Okay, so Jamie said in The Wizard of Oz there's a munchkin hanging himself. That is an urban legend. If you look it up, it's really somebody in the crew
They
that got
can't believe in Jamie.
cut into. It's not true. Got cut into the scene and they ran out and it was too expensive to refilm it, so they just left it. He did not hang himself. Are you sure Lecter doesn't say that, Mom? I'm positive. If you watch the scene, he doesn't say it. You can look it up on YouTube or just watch the movie. Naomi says, I watch it on a constant cycle. He definitely says, no, I am your father. And then Naomi said, okay, fine, I'll look for it. I'll look out for it when we are done with our Harry Potter
I
marathon.
say it right.
What?
He says, no, I am your father.
Just like that. Okay, so The People Under the Stairs. Was that a Stephen King movie?
Nope, that was Wes Craven.
Wes Craven. Okay.
Wes Craven.
I didn't really like that movie, actually.
I didn't either. It was all right, but
Speaking of urban legends, Urban Legend came out in 1998, as well as Gremlins 2.
yeah, we didn't even talk about Gremlins, period.
I know, I didn't see it. It wasn't listed in any of the, like, scroll ones that we were in. Oh, look, there's a little tab up here that I can go to the next one instead of typing it all in all over again. Sleepy Hollow with, what's his name? What's that actor's name? He plays Pirates of the Caribbean.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp.
Yep. Why do I hear lightsabers? Do you hear it?
I do.
See, you had to say Darth Vader, not that big black bastard's right here.
I know. God.
Really?
He's fighting with
Put the
Luke on
lightsaber down. Go do some Jedi mind tricks or something.
Go back to Disney World.
Destroyed as Obi-Wan did.
Oh, yeah, here you go. Talking crap again. Go. Bye-bye.
They're fighting.
Mom, watch it again.
I'm trying to pull up that part where it says, Luke, I am your father.
The Faculty was pretty good. You remember The Faculty?
Never saw it.
That's where these creatures came down from outer space and they started taking over all the staff and everything. And they would try to hunt down the kids and turn them into one of them. And that was pretty good.
Oh. That sounds actually pretty interesting. Mimic was good.
Yep.
Was that one remade or was that just done in 1997?
That was 97. They haven't redone that
I
one
don't think they redone it. I don't think they redone it.
They didn't redid it yet.
Lake Placid was good. That came out in 99.
I have the Mandela Effect, Queen, we are the champions of the world, and it says question mark, but it's not in there.
You know what else? Clive Barker did another movie in 1990 called Nightbreed. And that was a pretty decent movie if you get a chance. I wouldn't really call it a horror movie. More of a like supernatural type movie, but it was pretty good.
See, so in your opinion, what makes a horror movie a horror movie?
Different things based on different people.
True. So for you.
For some people, we'll break it all down. The bottom line is you want to get the scare. You want to get that pucker factor, the jump factor, and it's an adrenaline rush.
I was just going to say the adrenaline rush. Because that's why I like them, is for that adrenaline rush.
Or like the babysitter's downstairs, and you're watching and you're watching and you're watching, and you see the killer coming closer, and he's coming closer, and your heartbeat's getting going. You know, again, the adrenaline rush. But some people, things affect differently. Some people are more afraid of like the supernatural ghost type things.
Right.
Some people are more afraid of the slasher flicks. Some people are more afraid of the theatrical monsters such as like Dracula or something like that.
Like the Slender Man, that's like more for my time.
Yes. Slender Man.
Things like that. See, I don't like a lot of gore. So like the Saw movies aren't terrifying to me. They're just they turn my stomach, so I don't really I don't want to watch them enough to get the fear out of it. But like movies like The Strangers, where there is blood because they do torment them, but it's more. I mean, I'm not saying the Saw situation can't happen, but after 7 or 8 movies, I feel like we're just playing it out now. But like The Strangers, yeah, there's blood, but it's so realistic that little amount of blood isn't an issue. It's still a scary movie. But for the Saw movies, the more movies they got, like the first and second one were all right, and then like the third, the fourth, the more blood that they packed on, they might as well have just been pouring gallons of blood everywhere. And it's just, that's not. But some people like that stuff. Like, I posted a status about what's your favorite horror movie, and a lot of people said the Saw movies. But to me, I don't like gore, so that's not the thrill for me.
I like it all. I've watched all the Saw movies, and yeah, you're right. I mean, after like the second one, and then the third one, and then. But what Saw did, I'm not going to ruin it for anybody that hasn't seen it. They added on to keep you guessing.
Right. There was a method to the madness.
Yep.
So that I get, but that series, I went and saw the third or the second in theaters with my parents. But it wasn't even frightening to me. It was just gross. So it didn't spark my interest to find out what the storyline was, or I wasn't running to the movie theater when Jigsaw came out. But the Paranormal Activity things, those scare me. Those movies scare me because it's a jumping movie. You don't know what's going to happen next. It's one of those ones that plays the creepy music and then something happens out of nowhere. Those are my favorite. The Strangers, like I said, was super realistic. Same thing with The Purge. Yeah, there's a lot of blood, but it's not a lot. But that one wasn't terrifying as much as it was more realistic. In a sense that, could you ever imagine in 40 years if our government ever got there to decide something like that? In a perfect world, people would.
Yeah, maybe. And the Hostel movies.
See, I like those better than the Saw movies.
And it's the same thing. There's been a lot of, I don't want to call them urban legends or stories of things that have happened to people who've gone down to Brazil or over to Spain and in the Slavic countries and everything. So you just don't know. You don't know what you're getting into. So
you don't, exactly.
Yeah, that's definitely. I mean, you talk about human trafficking and all that. That goes on over there. That's like an everyday thing.
I was gonna say it's a daily occurrence. Like, it's something that they're used to, and it's no different than like they have, what was that movie? It wasn't a horror movie, but it was a suspense thriller. Like, it could actually Taken. His daughter went on a trip or something happened and she got kidnapped and he went and found her. Like, those things can actually happen. My manager, his daughter just went to Africa and he was terrified. Like, what could happen over there? I don't, what can she bring back? What could happen? We don't know what kind of, environment she's in. We don't know kind of, town she's in. And it's crazy to think about, but those are the more realistic side where those movies scare people because they could actually happen.
If you don't bring my daughter back,
I will find you.
I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
But, so my mom said more afraid when a movie bases it on something real. So that would be like The Haunting in Connecticut. That was based on something real. So those kind of movies, like she said, The Strangers was based on true events, things like that. But then you have like the actual supernatural or the monsters, that side of it. When I was younger, Signs scared me so bad that I was terrified of cornfields. My mom would have to warn me in the car when a cornfield was coming up so I could close my eyes. Because I was afraid to look out my window because I thought I was going to see an alien on the roof. So those things, that was like the first terrifying movie that I think I watched and remember being horrifyingly afraid. I did see the new It movie. Never saw the original. Only because I'm terrified of clowns. And my friend had bought tickets to the new one, and we went and saw it, and within 5 minutes of the movie starting, I felt like I was going to throw up because the clown was just so terrifying to me. But I made it through the whole theater, the whole movie, didn't leave once, didn't get up and have to take a breath. But that one was really well done. I don't know what the original one's like. I would never subject myself to watching it. But
The original one was pretty good. It had an all-star cast, but I don't think it left you hanging halfway. Or maybe it did. Maybe it was a two-part.
I don't know. Like this one, they just released not a trailer, but like a teaser for the second one.
Yep.
Which is based 40 years later.
Or
something like that. And they end up going back. Yep.
And, yeah. The same as the original.
I think the clown in the new one versus the old one was way more scarier. Because obviously I've seen pictures of the original Pennywise versus the 2017 Pennywise, and I think he's much more scarier. But thankfully, I never had nightmares until way after. Then I started having nightmares of clowns, and that was awful.
They all float down here.
Yes, but when we were walking in, I just said, "Oh, Pennywise might be down there," because there was a dip in the road, and I didn't know it went down to a sewer. But you were too far ahead of me to hear me, so it's a good thing that nobody grabbed me and yanked me down, because she probably would have kept walking. So
Yeah, I think you were safe.
I am. I don't know. I don't really know where I am. I mean, I do, but I don't. Not really around here all the time. So Naomi said A Quiet Place is really good. So that's the new movie that came out with the guy from The Office, who played Jim. And Jamie said the new Halloween movie looks good. So that one's coming out this year, I think.
Yeah, this October 18th.
Jamie Lee Curtis is back.
Yep.
I love her as an actress. Actually, I really loved her in Freaky Friday with Lindsay Lohan.
You know what? I think my buddy's playing Michael Myers in that movie, but I gotta check.
Ooh. That one's supposed to be really good. And Naomi said now she knows exactly what to do when we are invaded by blind aliens. I have not seen A Quiet Place, but I am dying to, and I can't wait for it to come out on Redbox. Unless somebody wants to take me to see it. The offer is out there for any of my 9 followers listening.
What movie?
A Quiet Place.
Oh.
Thinner. Have you seen that? That was in 1996.
Yes,
Okay.
I saw that.
That was the last movie of the 1990s.
Wow. Outstanding. Yep. Nick Castle is reprising the role of Michael Myers, and Nick Castle played it in the first movie, along with my other friend, Tony Moran. Tony Moran played the part where she pulls Michael's mask off, and you get to see his face.
Yeah.
That's Tony Moran.
Oh.
The rest of it was Nick Castle. So that ought to be
The
good.
original one, like the first one, like the very, very, very... Oh, good.
Yep.
That'll be good then.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad they're bringing them back. I'm glad they agreed to it, because
So
you
you
know how some
got-
people don't? They won't agree to redo.
You know, since even before I was in these movies, being involved with Scares That Care, I go to all these conventions and everything.
Right.
I don't think there's a Jason or a Michael Myers I haven't met yet.
That's so awesome.
So,
that is great. I want to meet them.
just talking to them, it's just outstanding to see the different ways they approached it and everything. Especially Tyler Mane. Oh my God. When I have to look up at somebody to talk to them, you know they're big.
I have to look up to talk to you. But then again,
I'm 6'3".
Can you imagine? Well, I'm 5'3", so you're exactly a foot taller than me.
So
Could you
imagine if I had it. Imagine looking up to him.
Oh my goodness. I would feel like I belonged in the Munchkins in The Wizard of Oz.
Trying to see if any of the other originals are in the movie, like PJ Souls.
So my friend Nate said, how about Hereditary? Have you seen that trailer for that new movie?
Yes.
So I think, if I am remembering this correctly, the grandmother dies and it's passed down to the grandchild, and they ask their mom what's going to happen, who's going to take care of me when you die, and all this weird stuff happens, and they have like some supernatural powers.
Yep.
I think it looks good. My mom said, "Oh, that looks good." Jamie said Kane Hodder played a great Jason.
Absolutely. I am good friends with Kane, and he is also a big part of the charity that I belong to. He started the burn aspect of it, and yeah, Kane is just outstanding. He's been in probably close to 200 movies doing stunts or something.
Isn't that crazy?
And he's the only one to have played Jason multiple times.
Good for
I think it
him.
was part 7 through 10.
Jamie said, from what I hear, he is a great man.
Oh my God, yeah, he's one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet.
That is fantastic.
Yep.
So got brighter in here. Hereditary.
Wow.
It took her a while on that one.
I'm like, what do you mean? He opened the door? No, I get it. Okay. That was a dumb joke just in case you didn't get it. So, Hereditary, when Ellen passes away, her daughter's family begins to unravel cryptic and increasingly terrifying secrets about their ancestry. The more they discover, the more they find themselves trying to outrun the sinister fate they seem to have inherited. So, did you know, side note, the budget for this movie was less than the budget for Paranormal Activity?
Really?
Yep. This one's $10 million. I think Paranormal Activity was $28 million.
Do you know what movie had the smallest budget?
Is it a horror movie?
Yep, out of the main horror movies, I should say that because there's been some that have had a.
I know this. It's on the tip of my tongue, and it's going to aggravate me because you're going to say it, and I'm going to be angry. It is.
Getting late.
Don't know.
It's getting dark. And the lowest.
Friday the 13th.
You're close. Halloween.
Ooh,
the
dang
very
it.
first Halloween was the lowest budgeted movie.
I
ever
should have
made.
guessed that. Man. Okay, so I'm on the 2000s movie, and I'm really excited for them. Because this is where things start getting good. This is where I start remembering them.
The horror movies before 2000 were better, but okay.
Well, yeah, but these are the ones that I know about. Like, you could ask me 1,000 times if I knew movies from the 70s or 80s,
okay.
and I'll tell you I didn't see them. But these ones, out of all of these, I've seen most of them. So, The Descent,
Yep.
the claustrophobia of that was terrifying enough. 28 Days Later.
28 Days Later.
I
was
saw
good.
28 Weeks Later in theaters.
Yeah, again, zombies. Goes back to George Romero.
Yep. The Others was a really good movie. A really good movie. I watched that first with my mom.
Yep, that one I did. I wouldn't even really consider that a horror
No, they kind of
movie.
coexist with the ghosts.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, I didn't see the ending coming, so that was good.
Yes, I like movies like that. That's like The Boy. Have you ever seen The Boy?
Yep.
Oh my gosh, the ending got me. The whole time you're thinking it's one thing, and then the ending comes, and I was like on the end of my seat going, what did I just see? What just happened? So I like movies like that where you expect something the whole time, and then at the end, it completely mind blown. So Let the Right One In. I never saw that.
That was good.
I heard it was a good movie. The Ring, Saw.
The Devil's Rejects.
Yeah. Drag Me to Hell. That one I didn't like. Paranormal Activity and The Mist both came out in 2007.
The Mist was good.
It was.
And then they made a TV show out of it, and it was just as good.
Yep. Session 9. I believe that was the one with tapes that they just listened to.
Not sure.
About somebody in an insane asylum, maybe. I think.
Yeah.
It tells you a tale of terror when a group of asbestos removal workers start working in an abandoned insane asylum. No. I remember that. They just get new visitors, just creepy visitors through the whole thing. The Orphanage was...
I get that every weekend.
I know. God bless you. The Orphanage was all right.
The Strangers, 2008.
Yep. That.
Hostel, 2005. Trick or Treat.
Yep.
That was
Trick or
pretty
Treat
good.
was a good one. I feel like they were trying to backflip off of Halloween, Michael Myers, because it was a little kid with a mask, but so that's why I was like really hesitant to watch it. But then when I rented it, it was completely different.
Yeah, they're based on Halloween urban legends.
Yes. Yep. So I didn't watch it like when everybody was into it and wanting to watch it. I didn't watch it because I was like, no, it's going to be a B-string movie that is mimicking another movie. I don't want to watch it. But it actually was really good, and I liked it a lot. I loved Hostel.
Jane said Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead
Yep,
and
that was
Shaun
a
of the
good one.
Dead.
Shaun of the Dead.
That one's in there.
American Psycho.
That one was good.
Did you see Wolf Creek?
Nope.
That one might freak you out too. That's based on a true story.
Oh wait, maybe I have. Hold on, let me see. Who's the main character?
I don't know. It's out in Australia.
Is it? No, I don't know.
Yeah, that's that one. That one was pretty good when you're stuck out in the outback by yourself. And The Grudge.
Oh, The Grudge. That terrified me. I have a little crawl space in our house. It's like one of the ones that the girl saw in the closet and went up and flicked the lighter. Well, I was trying to see what was up there because obviously it's my house. I need to see if I can store stuff up there. And I was terrified I just now opened that a couple months ago and I've lived there since 2015. There was no way I was going up there.
Tammy said The Visit, and Jane also said Rosemary's Baby.
Rosemary's Baby is a remake, isn't it? Didn't we just do that in the 70s or 60s?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I don't know if it's been remade, but like I said, it was just on the other day and I saw it.
The Visit, that one was with the grandkids that went to the grandparents' house.
Yep.
And the grandmother was doing weird things in the middle of the night, running around naked, crawling under the house
Wanted
real
to
fast
cook
at
'em.
them, wanted to cook them. And then they found out that they weren't even their grandparents. Their grandparents were dead in the basement the whole time.
Jamie says The Fourth Kind.
Jamie DeVoe. Hi, Jamie. I miss you. Oh,
Fourth Kind was good.
that one was good.
The Exorcism of Emily
Emily
Rose. Based on a true
Yep.
story.
That one was really good, too. Cloverfield, I wasn't a big fan of.
See, I liked Cloverfield.
I liked it, but I'm not a fan of... I watched it in theaters, but I'm not a fan of, like, fast-moving, like, first view cameras. I'm not a fan of them because it makes me dizzy. So, like, Paranormal Activity, the back and forth of that, I didn't like that either. Wrong Turn was good.
You know what? I've seen just about all of these.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I was like, oh, I can talk about these. Joyride.
Dead
was good.
Silence was pretty good.
It Follows. I never saw that.
You guys can call into people watching or listening on the radio side. It's 860-626-5193. You know, the number at the top of the screen.
30 Days of Night was good.
So Cassie said, I loved The Visit. Can you climb in the oven to clean it? She quoted. Oh my goodness. And then my friend Chris said, Cloverfield, the handshaking made me want to puke. Which I feel like that's how a lot of people in the theater left when I went and saw it. We were all
Yeah, I
teenagers
could
and in
see
high
that.
school. Like, it was nauseating. I made it through the whole thing, and it was a good movie. The concept of it was good. Mm-hmm. But they should have just toned down the first person camera shaking. Because, like, Paranormal Activity isn't bad, where everything there is mostly in...
Well, did you see the second Cloverfield? That one was good.
Really? Ooh,
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to look at
there's no handshaking first person.
it. Perfect. I'm going to have to look at it. I know there was a second one.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Pulse was good.
Yep, the remake of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
13 Ghosts.
Oh, I love it.
Yes.
I love that movie.
That was a good
And you had to put on the
movie.
special glasses to see them. And then the glass
Could you
doors.
imagine living in a glass house like that?
That would be not with kids.
Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon was really, really good.
Didn't see it, but I did see Dead Silence. That was a good movie. That was fantastic. It was the one with the puppets.
Yep.
And then I think that was the one where the whole time the dad was actually a
Don't
puppet.
give the end of the movie away. What if they haven't seen it?
Well, too late. 30 Days a Night, Sam says, is her favorite movie.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Now I'm on 2010s. So that's where The Visit comes up, because that was in 2015.
Oh,
Yep.
You didn't even bring up House of a Thousand Corpses.
Didn't see it.
That was awesome.
10 Cloverfield Lane, never saw that.
That's the new
Don't
one.
Breathe.
That's the new one.
Yes. Oh, that's it?
Yes.
Oh! I didn't know that. That's the second Cloverfield?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was called something else. Thought it would been like something clever like Cloverfield 2. Don't Breathe was a very, very, very good movie. I saw Lights Out, but I don't really remember what it was about. The first 10 minutes scared me and my ex so bad we turned it off and tried again the next night.
Yeah, Lights Out was good.
What about the horror movie Mama? I don't know when that came out, but that was terrifying.
That was... It had to be mid-2000s.
Had to have been, right?
Yep.
I didn't see it. It didn't come up in the list. It Comes at Night. I've never seen that. That came out last year.
The Cabin in the Woods.
Of course, that's a good one. VHS, I didn't really like.
The first one I thought was all right, but then they got ridiculous.
So Jamie said, what about Get Out in 2017? I haven't seen it. Is it worth it?
Get Out was pretty good. Definitely pretty good.
Sam said 30 Days of Night is her favorite movie. And Cassie said 10 Cloverfield Lane was creepy as shit.
Yeah, it was. Yep. Black Swan. Why do they have Black Swan? I mean, yeah, it was a horrible movie, but I wouldn't call it a horror movie.
It was supposed to be a horror movie.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. It wasn't, but it was supposed to be. The Woman in Black was supposed to be really good. Although I couldn't stop thinking about Harry Potter the whole time.
Yeah.
Let me see. Black Swan. Let's see if it says why it was a horror movie.
Get Out is a very, very good psychological mind messer.
Yeah, Sarah says Get Out was freaky. Ending was awesome.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Let me see. So Nina is a ballerina whose passion for dance rules every aspect of her life. When the company's artistic director decides to replace his prima ballerina for their opening production of Swan Lake, Nina is his first choice. She has competition in newcomer Lily. However, while Nina is perfect for the role of the White Swan, Lily personifies the Black Swan. As rivalry between the two dancers transforms into a twisted friendship, Nina's dark side begins to emerge. It wasn't horror. Unless you consider the only horror part was when she had a hangnail and ripped it off and it went all the way up her finger. That was the only horror part to me. Because let me tell you, that's my biggest fear is when I pull one of those, I'm afraid I'm going to rip all my skin off. So no thanks. The Conjuring 2 came out in 2016.
What about Devil? Did you see that?
No.
That was a freaky one. They were stuck in the elevator and...
Oh, I did. I did see it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was freaky.
I did. We rented it on Netflix. I mean, on Redbox. Your Next was really good. I saw that in theaters.
Yep. The Wolf Man with Anthony Hopkins and...
Sinister.
Benedictorio, is that his name?
I don't know.
Yeah, Benedictorio, I think his name is.
Sinister came out in 2012. That was a really good movie.
Yeah, Sinister was good.
Insidious also came out in 2010. The Babadook. Did you see that?
The Babadook.
Oh my goodness. The first time I watched it, I was like, this movie's dumb. And then I watched it the second time, like from opening to ending, and I was like, this movie is awesome. Let's see. So Abby said The Ritual was pretty good for a newer film.
Yep, Ritual was good.
Jamie said the Phantasm series was good.
Yes.
Boy. The Crazies remake came out in 2010.
Yep.
Let's see.
We didn't even touch on the Final Destinations.
Because some people don't see those as horror. Those are more thriller. And to people, that can mean two different things. Like, there's a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal that was considered a thriller, but it's not considered a horror movie, technically. He's a cameraman. I don't remember what it's called. Jake.
Is that Oculus?
Yes. That's not considered... Oh, no, no, not Oculus. Oculus is the one with the mirrors.
No, Oculus is the one with the cameraman. I think. Now you're going to make me look.
Oculus.
Yeah, I think Oculus is the one with the cameraman.
Oculus is the one with no cameraman. It's the one with the mirrors.
Is it?
Haunted by the violent demise of their parents 10 years earlier, adult siblings are now struggling to rebuild their relationship. They suggest that their antique mirror, known as the Lassier glass, is behind the tragedy. So they set it up and they try and get... But the one with Jake Gyllenhaal that was a thriller, what was it?
Yeah, it's the one with the camera. And
Nightcrawler. Somebody said it. Thanks, Nate.
Nightcrawler. No, that's not the one I was thinking of.
That's what I'm thinking of. Sam said, Jake Gyllenhaal thrills me.
Wow. Different show.
She's not wrong.
That's another show.
Jamie said some people think Jaws is a horror.
Yep, absolutely.
Which, absolutely.
There's still people scared to go in the water.
Yep, but then there's some people that don't think it's a thrill. I mean, I think it's a horror movie. But I think it is. That's terrifying.
Well,
I think sharks in general are terrifying.
Put it this way.
Bless
They
you.
list like Godzilla and Gamera and King Kong as horror movies. Are they really horror movies? To me, they're more of a kids movie. But
Yeah.
hey, whatever.
Well, okay, let's take, for instance, it's a Tim Burton-esque style film. I think he was in on it, but he's not the main creator of the movie Coraline. It's a cartoon stop-go animation movie. It's about a little girl who has to move, and she's mad at her parents for it because she had to leave her friends. It's very gloomy there. And she wants to leave, and she finds a key with a button on the top of it, and it opens this little trap door in her house, and she crawls down and she goes into this other world, and she has her other mother and her other father, and everybody there has button eyes. And the biggest thing was the world may not be what it seems. So like they're offering all these nice things so that she comes to them. But when she decides to say no thank you, the mom turns into this big, gangly, gnarly looking, almost like praying mantis, thin but like beetle like, and she just turns into this monster, and it's Coraline's job to kind of figure it out. That movie terrifies my kid, and it's a creepy movie. Even, the people I talk to are like, this is a kid's movie? It's really good. I own it. It's one of my favorite movies. I love Tim Burton movies, so I'm all about anything that Tim Burton has, either collaborated with or done himself, like Edward Scissorhands and Beetlejuice and all those other things. Like, those are the movies that I enjoy. And Coraline is one of my favorites. But I don't think it's a kid's movie. It's scary, but in the same aspect where you're saying those other movies are more so kids' movies. And Sam Burbo said Coraline is the best movie ever. And Jamie says she misses M. Night Shyamalan movies. But The Village was good. The one with the red cloaks and like the big pig heads and stuff.
Yes, I was just about to say that one. That had an ending that surprised me too.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I did not expect that one.
So I looked up Nightcrawler. It's a thriller. It's classified as a thriller. And it was about Jake Gyllenhaal. His name's Lewis in the movie. He survives by scavenging and petty theft. He stumbles into a new career as a cameraman, and armed with a camcorder and a police scanner, begins nocturnal forays across the city in search of shocking and grisly crimes. When he catches the eye of a shopworm news director who welcomes a chance to raise her station's ratings, he goes to increasingly greater lengths to catch the money shot. And it's a very intense and thriller type movie. But it's not technically a horror movie. But that's why I think thrillers and horrors are two different things.
Right.
Jamie said Signs. The other Jamie said Jacob's Ladder.
Yes, definitely Jacob's Ladder.
I don't know what that's about.
I'm not surprised.
I know. We've been doing this since we started looking at the...
I want to know what that picture, the camera movie is that I'm thinking of.
Do you remember what it was about?
Yeah, this guy was a photographer, and they went over to Japan, I think it was. And he was taking some pictures of these girls, and I guess they ended up dead or something.
Shudder.
Yes. Yeah, Shudder. Thank you.
I loved that movie.
So you know what I was talking about the whole time, but didn't say anything.
I Googled Japan cameraman horror movie. Enter. Shudder came up. Legitimately, those are the 5 words I Googled. And that's what came up. I actually really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, that's right. Now, who was in that?
Let me see. Their budget was $8 million. It's in English and Japanese. So the cast is Joshua Jackson, Rachel Taylor, Megumi Okina, John Hensley, David Denman, James Kyson Lee, Daisy Betts, Maya Hazen, Yoshiko Miyazaki.
Okay, don't go anymore.
That's all there was. So you stopped me at the right time.
I don't know. I thought they were...
And they took pictures, and the pictures of the things were behind them or in the shot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like a Polaroid camera.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, and the girl's face would be back there.
Yep.
Yeah, that was good.
And they were the person who produced this also produced The Grudge and The Ring.
Yes. Yep. Have you seen any of the Hatchet movies?
Nope.
And those are pretty good. Kane Hodder stars in all of those.
Shudder. Oh yeah, Shudder.
So, I got to bring this one up. It's not really a horror movie, but I guess it could be. It's like a suspense. Did you see Shutter Island?
Yes, I read the book first.
That was amazing.
I am one of those people that reads the book first if I can help it. And that's what I did. I read the book first, and I loved it. I read it in school. It was for a freelance project, so we were able to pick any book we wanted and read it, and then do a report on it. And that's the one I did. And then I think shortly after, when did Shutter Island come out? 2007?
Yeah,
oh no,
something
2010. I read it my junior year, and then I graduated in 2010, and that's the year the movie came out. So I read the book first. I remember because the book I got had the movie cover on it. So you know how movie covers books usually come out with the movie covers before the movie comes out.
Yep.
That's what had happened. So that was what piqued my interest. Read the book, and then I watched the movie, and it was so mind blowing. And even after reading the book, and still going.
So do you think the cast in that movie was pretty spot on?
Oh, yes. I think they did a fantastic job. Although I love Leonardo DiCaprio in basically anything he does. But he still did so well. He played the part well. He played... Even at the end, he did everything correctly. He did everything fantastically. So I think that they did a really good job, because sometimes you read the book and then you watch the movie and it's not anything like you imagined it was going to be.
Yep.
But even from the book to the movie, the characters that they portrayed and cast were exactly how you imagined them in the book. Down to the description, down to their mannerisms, down to the little tiny details, whether they were tapping a pen or scribbling notes. Everything was super accurate. So I think they did fantastic. What are you doing over there?
Now, have you ever seen the movie I Spit on Your Grave?
No.
That... all of those movies, and it's kind of like a train wreck. Can't look away. All three of those movies really bothered me. One thing I can't stand is like violence towards women.
Correct.
And the rape scenes in those movies were just a little too graphic and a little too real for me.
Yep.
So I really had an issue with that.
That's like the house on the left, or the house at the end of the street, or something. In one of those movies,
Last House on the Left.
Last House on the Left.
Where they rape the daughter and then think she's dead.
And then they think she's dead. Yep.
She comes back and
that
whoops
bothered
her
me.
ass.
That bothered me so much.
That scene in that movie is nothing compared to I Spit on Your Grave.
No, thank you.
Oh, it is. It's brutal. It bothered me to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
That's no different than like gore bothering me. I mean, obviously that would bother me too. But some people, as sick as it is, like that kind of stuff. That's okay to them.
Well, an EMT, gore doesn't bother me, obviously.
Well, yeah.
I see worse out on the street.
I mean, I'm a pharmacy technician, so I don't have to deal with blood or I mean, unless somebody comes in and just got stitched up at the hospital.
You know what? It just reminded me, not that it's got anything to do with horror movies or anything, but who peed in your Cheerios?
Somebody peed in my Cheerios?
Oh, yeah, you were going off on Facebook.
Let me tell you. Buckle up.
Yeah, here we go.
Jeez. So
time to get real with Gina.
Now we're getting real. This is Gina's corner now. So first of all, Jamie said signs. The other Jamie said martyrs. Sam said, isn't that kind of like Sinister, where the guy shows up in the movies? Jamie said, oh my God, The Grudge freaked me out, heebie-jeebies. And Abby said, Silent Hill scared my sister into a full-blown migraine and fever. Okay, back to this. Oh, God. Okay, so there had been this guy that had been messaging me a lot and asking me on dates and wanting to take me out to dinner and what do you have to lose? And not my cup of tea. Like, I'm not interested. I make time for the things that I'm interested in, and that's just not one of the things. He's not physically attractive to me. I know that's not all that it is, but...
This isn't the one I was talking about, but this one sounds better, so go ahead.
Oh! Oh, well, I
guess Gina's been on the warpath all
I know,
week.
Honestly. So, I had finally said, no, and he kept asking for a reason, like telling me that I didn't have a good enough reason for this. And I said, if I tell you the reason, then you're not going to talk to me anymore. Not that I don't mind, but like I was very adamant on just being friends. If you want to talk to me, I'm fine with holding a conversation, but I don't want to date you. I don't want to go out for dinner. I don't want to be wined and dined. I want to be left alone. So finally yesterday he wanted an answer. Like, he was super persistent about it. And a couple months ago, or however long ago, his wife had died. And she overdosed, which isn't funny. It isn't, that's a serious problem. My aunt died of an overdose. But that was his ploy, was feel bad for me. My wife overdosed. Come out on a date with me. Like, that's all not going to get me in your corner. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. So finally, I just told him, like, I met you once in person. You were drugged out of your mind. Like, your wife was there and she was talking about her baby, how she had 3rd-degree burns on her butt because she had a diaper rash so bad. And that to me is just neglect. I have 3 kids to think about. Like, I don't have time to be bringing in something like that into my life. And of course, he went off on me, telling me that I needed to do some soul searching because I have an ugly soul, I have an ugly heart, and how he's not super attractive, he's not no Ryan Reynolds, but he isn't ugly. And it was just, no didn't mean no. And I'm sorry, I am fully a big advocate on no meaning no. So if I say no, I don't need a reason. And then when he got a reason, he lashed out and made it a big deal. And then I put him on blast on Facebook, and here we are. I'm not afraid to tell people how I feel or call people out on anything. But what were you talking about?
Hold on. We're still on this one yet. Jeez. One gripe at a time.
Well, that was it. That was it. And then he deleted me.
No, we got the next gripe. So, especially if they're married. Guys, if you're not happy in your relationship, then get out. Don't do that to your friggin' wife.
Well, his wife is dead.
Well, him, but, I mean, there's others. I've seen them.
Oh, me too.
Grow a set of balls. If you've got a wife, you shouldn't be asking anybody out on a date, for dinner, for drinks, for whatever. It makes you look like an idiot, to be honest with you.
Jamie said, glad you asked, Jim. Sam said, Gina rants a lot, Jim. Jamie said, we sell souls in aisle 17, Gina. And the other Jamie just did crying, laughing faces.
Okay. All right. It's time for Who Peed in Gina's Cheerios
Part 2. Oh, my God. Okay, what now?
I apologize because I didn't realize there was a part 1. But, okay, part 2. Why are everybody keeping their kids away from yours?
Vaccinations, people.
Here we go.
Vaccinate your damn kids. Because let me tell you, when Luca was 6 months old, he was not old enough to get the chickenpox vaccine, and guess who got chickenpox? Luca. Because some scumbag didn't vaccinate their kids and let their germy, nasty, infested child touch everything, and then my kid, who's not old enough to be protected from the diseases that you're so afraid will give autism to your child that you won't vaccinate against, gave it to my kid. And he could have died. And I wouldn't be able to find out who did it. Vaccinate your children. And if you don't vaccinate your children, I have a nice, lovely exit for you to leave out of.
All right, here's a question for you. All right, legit question. Say a child's in, I don't know, kindergarten, and the child contracts something, becomes extremely sick, and either has issues the rest of their life, whether it be paralysis or something, brain damage, or they pass away. And you find out that one child in that classroom did not get their shots. Do you think the parent should be held responsible?
Yes. That's not even a thought. Yes. You were ignorant and selfish enough. I'm sorry. If these big parents that are going on all these rants about vaccinations and they give autism, I'm sorry. But I would rather have a kid with autism than a kid that's dead, 6 feet under, because I didn't feel the need to vaccinate them and they got polio, or they got measles, or they got chickenpox so bad that they died. I would rather vaccinate my kid and, okay, they get autism. If there are studies that link it to that, then fine. At least my kid is alive.
right now, there's no
link.
proof.
None.
No link. No
Nothing. No studies are done.
And
people are just, it's word of mouth. It's people are saying that's what it is.
With that you have a healthy child, no matter.
Autism isn't something to be afraid of.
It's not something to be ashamed of. They're normal humans just like the rest of us.
Right.
And
one of my really good friends, her name is Kylie, and she has a little girl, and her name is Sailor, and Sailor is autistic.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with Sailor at all. She is a beautiful little girl. She's smart. She might be, she may have sensory issues, and that's okay. But she's alive. Kylie didn't not vaccinate her kids, and she didn't think, oh, well, my kids may get autism, so I'm just not going to do it. Mm-hmm. She vaccinated all her kids to make sure that they were there with her. Me and Kylie, we both have endometriosis, which is something that only women can get. It's only diagnosable when you get it. And it's one of the biggest side effects of it is infertility. Mm-hmm. Most people who have endometriosis can't have kids. Kylie has 3. And that's like a blessing. And even my doctors looked at me and said that you're very lucky to have 3 healthy kids. So Kylie and I are going to do whatever we can to keep our kids here. We're not going to let the selfishness and the ignorance and claim it as religion and not vaccinate our kids, because we're saving them. If by all means, so Tootie is 1. She's, right on track with all of her learning and stuff, but it doesn't mean she couldn't have a slight case of autism. Am I going to love her any less because she does? No. She's still my little spunky ham, and that's she's alive. That's all that matters, and she's healthy, and she doesn't have these nasty diseases. And I can't tell you how angry I was when Luca got so sick. He was in such a good mood through the whole thing, thankfully, but these parents don't understand that there's nothing in that vaccine that's going to give your kid autism, and if that's the biggest thing you're afraid of, then you need to recheck your priorities, because that's not something to be terrified of.
There was actually an episode of Law and Order SVU with that exact scenario I gave you.
Really?
Yep. And I do believe the mother I think she was acquitted.
Oh, I remember it.
Yeah,
I remember that episode. See, I went based off of what I as a mom would do. Mm-hmm. I didn't even remember that episode, but you're right. So, Sam said, ain't nobody be wanting the Black Plague. Jamie said nobody got time for that. The other Jamie said vaccinate. And then Sam said they should not be allowed to go to school if they aren't vaccinated. That's the way it always was, which is right. When I was little, if we weren't vaccinated, you couldn't start school.
Right.
Abby said, I hate this autism and vaccinations link. My son is autistic, and I've never blamed vaccinations, and he continues to get vaccinations. She doesn't blame, which is great, there you go. Like, that's a mom. And Sam just said, I'm terrified of my children getting polio. Because that's making a comeback. Because all of these hurting parents that aren't doing it, and like they're becoming their own little, okay, well now you're germing up everybody else who can't get vaccinated yet.
Right.
The vaccinations are staggered for a reason. You can't just load your kid all up on these medications for, all at once. So they're staggered for a reason. And like with Luca, he wasn't old enough to get the chickenpox vaccine to be. And now he's at risk for, what's it called? Shingles. When he's older.
Yep.
Because he got it because somebody else didn't vaccinate their kids. So I think you should vaccinate your kids. I don't care if anybody disagrees with me. If you don't disagree with me, that's your opinion, but your opinion is wrong.
We're going to have a whole Gina Speak segment.
Oh my goodness. Ask me about anything. All these opinions, I have tons of them.
Hey, have you seen Old 37?
Nope. Are we surprised?
No. You need to watch Old 37.
Is it going to make me angry?
Nope. See if there's anybody in there you recognize.
Old 37?
Old 37. I want everybody to check it out. Don't go looking up the cast and everything. I want you to watch the movie and tell me if you recognize anybody.
I do not. Is it a new movie? Oh, it's 2015. Can I watch it on Netflix?
Not sure. You might be able to.
Available on Vudu, Amazon Video, and iTunes. So no.
Old 37.
Bootlegging it.
Wait a minute.
Just kidding. That's illegal. We don't do that here.
No.
Gosh. Well, that was a good show today.
Yeah. If anybody gets a chance, watch Old 37. by the next show. Or else.
Or else.
Or else we'll have a whole show on Gina Speaks.
Oh, my goodness, yes. Just get me started on the Mandela effect, and then we'll go from there.
Oh, my God. All right, so we're going to have to do that for next week. We're going to have to work on the Mandela effect.
I'm so excited. Oh, Sam said she loves Gina's Corner.
We will have Joseph Mandela on himself to see what he has to say about the Mandela. No, I'm just kidding. Anybody that's getting excited, say, "Oh yeah, Joseph Mandela." No, he's dead.
No,
he's
dead.
not gonna. If he's
Not
on
gonna
the
be
show,
we're leaving.
Then
We're
better
done.
get the highest rating.
Cut. I know. Speaking from the dead. Well, that was a very good show. I thank everybody for tuning in. Hi, Joey. You're an hour and a half late, but better late than never.
And you know what, Robert De Niro, you're an idiot. Just thought I'd throw that out there. You pretty much just committed. You just killed your career. You just committed career suicide. Why do you gotta be stupid? Just keep your mouth shut. Keep your opinions, and then you won't have to worry about all the backlash.
Correct.
Jeez.
All right, guys. That's it for this week. We will see you guys next week, Tuesdays, 4:30.
Yeah, and on behalf of myself, Gina, Kim Jong-un, Keith, Dennis, whoever else.
John Cena.
We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.